All right, so in the series of Would I Buy This Business, we have today a luxury landscape architectural design build company. Interestingly, we've had actually a handful of clients recently buy these kinds of businesses as well. So I've done a decent amount of looking into them, and I think a nice thing about this kind of business is it's not going to be replaced in 6 months or 12 months by Amazon, or AI isn't going to show up and cut your lawn. It's still going to be the kind of thing that needs people to show up locally and provide the service. So from that standpoint, I think the businesses have a lot of life in them. This one has an asking price of $5.4 million against an EBITDA of $962,000. So it's about a 18% profit margin, which for this kind of business is honestly a little bit on the lower side. It depends if it's the kind of business where they're doing a lot of one-off projects, right? Renovating someone's backyard, putting in pavers and sprinklers and trees and vegetation and cool-looking flowers, or it's the kind of business where you come in every week and mow the lawn and trim the hedges and everything, and you've got more of a recurring base. Based on it saying landscape architectural design and build, it sounds like it's more of the former and less of the latter, and that can have less of an impact or an impact on making margins a little bit lower. It's also less attractive to me in that you don't have that guaranteed income of contracts that you're going to go out there every week and every month and mow and hedge trim and do everything else. These projects are big and expensive, but once they're over, they tend to be over, and you're always in the cycle of looking for new business. So from that standpoint, I'd rather buy a commercial landscape business that has recurring revenue instead of one-at-a-time revenue. One other thing that catches my eye with this one is they're saying there's $2.75 million worth of furniture, fixtures, and equipment. I could see a business like this having a handful of trucks, maybe some bobcats, maybe a dump truck, but $2.7 million worth of equipment seems like a big number. Most of the other businesses I've looked at, similar size, had somewhere around $400,000, $500,000 worth of equipment, which seems much more in line with this size of business. So I'd be interested to know what those assets are, and if I could get rid of some of them, or they could keep some and we could bring the selling price down to something I think would be more in line. Like, let me have $500,000 worth of the assets, you sell the rest, and we'll make the selling price $3 million or $3.5 million. That to me would make this deal much more interesting. But it's something I would consider. It probably wouldn't be at the top of my list, but it's definitely something that could make a good business for the right fit.